Scranton Preparatory School athletics holds a distinguished place within the Jesuit educational tradition, emphasizing the development of mind, body, and spirit. Through the pursuit of academic and athletic excellence, we provide a conspicuous source of pride for the Prep family, while demonstrating a culture conducive to forming student athletes for others who are truly ad altiora natus, born for higher things. The recently established Legends Hall celebrates the exceptional people who have embodied the Jesuit values of magis and cura personalis through their athletic achievements here at Prep and beyond. These individuals, honored for their dedication, perseverance, and sportsmanship, serve as inspiring role models for current and future students. The Legends Hall not only recognizes their contributions to Scranton Prep's storied athletic legacy, but also underscores the integral role that athletics plays in forming well-rounded individuals committed to excellence and service.
When Father AJ called me, it was really it was an emotional call for me because the 4 years I spent at Prep were the most influential years of my life in terms of hopefully development and setting me up for what I've done ever since then. Going to college at Fordham and then coaching for so many years in college and in the NBA. And Prep pushes you to be the best person that you can be. It also pushes you to be able to deal with adversity when things don't go your way, because things always don't go your way. And there's always things to overcome. And I think a lot of those lessons were there for you at Prep. It was never an easy little trek through high school. You were pushed. It was challenging. It wasn't just about you or even about Prep and your classmates. It was go out and do something and hopefully do something for the community and hopefully impact other people too. And that was always part of the lesson at Prep. And it's a lot bigger sphere that we're a part of. And hopefully you can impact a lot bigger circle than your immediate circle.
I grew up with a coach. My dad was a coach, and I would have to say, as far as basketball goes and coaching goes, he was probably my biggest influence because I lived with the man. Well, starting at Prep and being a freshman and being put on the varsity was kind of a shock for a lot of people because I was the first one to have played as a freshman on the varsity team, and I was the youngest. There were a lot of seniors on the team, juniors. There weren't too many sophomores, so I was the youngster on the block. I think at Prep, I learned a lot, and from Coach Farrell. I learned a lot from Coach Lyons, who was our junior varsity coach and assistant varsity coach, and Coach Jack Kelly, who was also an assistant coach. And all the coaches through my life that I had. You pick up little things from each person who you meet. It was Joe Paterno who had a good statement that I kind of used to tell my players: if you take care of the little things, then the big things take care of themselves. And the little things are the basic skills that you need to be an athlete in whichever sport you do. If you're a tennis player and you can't hit a backhand, you better be able to hit a backhand soon, or you're not going to be very successful. Sports usually give people the ability to understand what it is to work as a team. And going from being an athlete and being a coach and going into the corporate world, you kind of realize who has had that experience of working as a team.
In 1989, at a graduation speech that he gave at Scranton Prep, it happened to be my brother Matt's graduation year. My father said, "Scranton Prep taught me not only how to make a living, but how to live." He was the captain of the team. In his junior year, they beat all the regional teams. His senior year, he was on an all-star, played in the old Dream Game. He also played baseball. He was a catcher on the baseball team. He was someone who believed in fierce competition. He wasn't someone who wanted to just have an interesting game. He wanted to win. He said, by high school, I was attending Scranton Prep, a Jesuit high school, which opened in 1944. Classes were small, too small. There was no place to hide. He said, I was called on every day by teachers like Father Paul Reed, who introduced himself at the beginning of the school year this way, quote, "The more you guys hate me, the better I like it. Get a good night's sleep tonight. It will be your last until June," unquote. And then he goes on to say he was not kidding. I found myself hitting the books 3 to 4 hours every night. Like every prep student and every prep student athlete, he learned early to be disciplined about studying and committing time to that, but also really giving it your all on the courts or on the field.
The dedication and perseverance required to get up and go to practices day in and day out, weekends, mornings, nights, to put in that extra effort while also studying to maintain good grades. It kind of just instills an ability to be self-reliant and self-driven to move hard that I think has truly paid off throughout the rest of my life. Athletics and the lessons I learned from my coaches and peers really set me up for able to succeed through those tough moments. And then you get out to deployments in combat zones where, you face life or death situations. Again, it comes back down to the same thing of understanding that, hey, you've done all the hard work that you put in to be prepared, trust the training that you have, trust all that work, trust the mental toughness that you have, and move forward. And so that's helped me personally, and it's a way that you help others that I've had the opportunity to work with or lead or serve under to help them get through their own situations as well. But I think my most memorable moments are always when we did relays, both in track and in swimming. Again, it brings in the team sport of it, those that came down right to the end, and everybody's putting in their best efforts, having the best times. Those races that come down to the wire where everybody's on their feet yelling and screaming. And I think those are the most exciting moments that you remember. And when you finally do, you win a close one, and that's the most exciting part.
Dan Kennedy has been synonymous with all things Scranton Prep, probably going back to sometime in the 40s. Yeah, I mean, he was, I would say, omnipresent at all prep events for the better part of 40 years. With the exception of the birth of his children and or grandchildren, he made it a habit to go to as many games as possible. Be that girls basketball, men's basketball, football, track, field, whatever it may be. If there was a game going on, he was there. I can tell you firsthand what he always valued. And it was more about enjoying the moment, enjoying the team, enjoying the grind, if you will, enjoying the friendships and the relationships that you made with your teammates as well as your coaches throughout those years. As successful as he was during his time as the coach, the head coach, that was never his focus. The focus wasn't wins and losses. The focus was always about having a good group of girls, getting them ready, having them compete, of course, but really the relationships and celebrating each other. Anytime we were in a tight game, and there were maybe, let's call it 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and it still could go either way, he would stand there and say, "Girls, the ball is gold." And they thought to themselves, what does that mean? What he meant, of course, was be careful, execute, no turnovers, blah, blah, blah. But That's all he would say. He would call a timeout, and he'd let them sit there and look at him, and then he would say, "The ball is gold. Now get back out there."
If you have a dream, follow it. You can't put a stop to everything. You can put your best effort into those things that you care about and those things that you like to do, and try to get some satisfaction out of doing it. A person can go to school anywhere and be a good student. Prep is different in the way that it's not only a 9 to 3, 8 to 3, 8 to 2:30 place that you go to every day. It's different because the kids have a belonging. We bring so many individuals together from so many different places that it gives them an opportunity to get to know others. And it gives better competition. It gives the kids more of a sense of being able to work harder, to be better. And I think that's what makes prep athletics different from other schools. You know, the care and concern for the whole individual, not just you're the athlete, not just you're the student, but I think we deal with kids as being student athletes.
I probably never missed a practice or a game since I was maybe 7, 8 years old. He tailored his teams to what he had, but no one prepared for a game like he did. Notes were all over the house, in his office, just always preparing. And not only basketball, but as his role as an athletic director, I think he brought prep ahead in football, a lot of the girls' sports. It was his life. Between basketball and athletic director, it was his everything. Fantastic father. My sisters and brother would definitely agree. I would think every player to a man would say they would send their child to play for him if they had the opportunity. But he loved the whole, I guess, the family atmosphere of prep. He did give a lot, but he definitely got a lot as well.
A Scranton prep education you can't look for its advantage in a 4-year time. You can't look for it in real time. You can't look for it at the end of 4 years. It's something in its totality that adds up and forms your decision-making and your path. Like winning a state title for these guys was, it was depressing because it was over. You learn that a kite can only fly if it has a string, if it's tied to something. And so you're only free if the other guy on the team, if the institution matters. Then you can be and become. The Jesuits will tell you put on this earth to become more fully human. And you do that by being engaged in meaningful and purposeful pursuits. So if the kids didn't care about the trophy, then obviously there was something else that we were pursuing. The fun of coaching is investing in the kid. We don't have track because everybody likes to see kids make left turns. You create a self. In this case, we're going to create a runner. And then you overcome yourself. The self-overcoming is programmed into athletics. He who takes the most pain wins. I read this not long ago. So and the author said the opposite of poverty is community. And I think teams teach that.
I think I walked in as that scared freshman, with no confidence, not sure. I only had played 2 years of basketball. It wasn't like I had played a lot. I was taken in and made to feel very welcome and what your role is and having goals and going through things as a team, like the good days, the bad days. It was so foundational to what you become as a person later on in life, especially the career I chose. What I did with the intelligence community, it's all about that, right? It's just you function as a team, you go in, you have your roles, you do what you need to do, and you're a leader. And then you take care of those that come after you and make sure that you instill those same values. And I think prep was better than most schools too, in that because I remember Father Bourbon taught Latin. He would say things to me that still resonate. Basketball is a team sport, and don't forget it. He said, you're scoring because everybody's setting you up to score. You're doing your job, but my job just happened to be the person who scored. And that's something that you take with you in life. As I became, I was a senior executive at NSA. It's the same thing. You take care of those people as you go up the ranks, because they're the ones that contributed to your success. And that's, you trust them, you build that trust, and you always take care of your people. My whole career was focused on serving our country. I still do that mission and continue to make that difference and have a passion for what I do.
What the prep did was it began to formulate the basis of my values and my personal character. It was a wonderful transformation of me personally that I didn't know at the time was going on, but as I reflect on it, it was. The loss in the 4 overtimes in Allentown in my junior year was a game that I'll always remember. And that was, I guess that was my senior year. And my junior year, the loss in Pittsburgh, when we lost by a point, the state championship game, that stands out. So those 2 losses really took a lot out of me as far as emotionally at the time. And I remember Gal was very, very good. After the loss in Pittsburgh, he and I were walking around the city of Pittsburgh until 4 a.m, just talking, and because it was devastating to me. And I learned a lot from it, and I learned a lot from Gal. The seniors on that team really did everything they could to make me feel comfortable and be a part of the team. We had a great spirit amongst us, and it showed on the court. I mean, we were very good also, I think. And I think athletics, when it's properly administered and properly participated in, is wonderful.
I was 12 years old when I took the famed prep test. I somehow passed it, and at age 13, in September of 1957, I entered the halls of Scranton Prep, as did the new headmaster, Father Bernard McElhenney, 32 years old, from Philadelphia. And before September had finished, Father McElhenney had pinched my neck and said, "Boy, you're chewing gum. Why don't I see you after school?" And all of a sudden, I had my first experience at prep in jug, being a manager on the team. After you go to practice every day, you just want to be in the huddle when Gal is telling them what they're doing right, and many times what they're doing wrong with a loud voice. There was so much to learn. I became a student of basketball, which I took with me the rest of my life. Learning is a lifetime experience. I'm 79 years old, and I continue to learn. I was destined to have a career in sports. Getting to do work that you love is a great challenge that you go at every day, and you love going to work, and you love seeing the accomplishments, and you actually even love solving the challenges.
In John's case, he was the only coach that I'm aware of that never had a gym. We practiced all over the city. The lace factory was one of them. But when you're comparing John to other coaches, he's unique. And you have to put him certainly up at the top. Because in his case, the problems he had overcome with his basketball team were really something. Jenny was the only female at prep. Think of that today. The only female. Anything you wanted to know, Jenny would be there. And God love her. The students felt the same way. They always go to her, Many times if they're having a hard day or something like that, that'd be Jenny be the first one they go to. And it all went back, I think, to their great love for the place and what we were trying to do at that place. Bottom line with each one of them, how can we better help prep? Aiming for the best, the highest. And it's step in step with the Jesuit.
I remember I got my acceptance and it was like, oh wow, I got into prep. To me, that changed my life. And I could still see my mother crying because I got into prep. Being from out of town, I did have to hitchhike most of my career here. Just getting to school taught me to work harder, but it just built the foundation for my life. It was not easy. It was a lot of work. There's so many successful people that have come out of this building. I think that says a lot for what goes on inside this building. This is just a special place. It just taught me and everyone, because we were all treated the same. The discipline that was instilled in us was just, it carried on for the rest of my life, that's for sure. And even in your life, when things are going right, what are you going to do? How are you going to handle that? Are you going to use it to make others better, or is it just about yourself?
These legends of Scranton Prep have a profound influence on the school and its athletic programs, fostering a legacy of excellence and community. Our alumni have benefited from their successes and continue to make Scranton Prep athletics an important part of their lives. Through their active engagement, alumni contribute to the school's growth by offering mentorship, networking opportunities, and financial support. Their involvement in Scranton Prep athletics not only enhances the quality of sports programs, but also instills the values of teamwork, perseverance, and leadership in current students. By sharing their experiences and successes, alumni serve as role models, inspiring students to pursue their passions and achieve their goals. Additionally, their contributions help shape a vibrant, supportive environment that benefits future generations, ensuring that the ethos and traditions of Scranton Prep continue to thrive.